I am Dwayne, and I am host of Metal Rises in the East on Metal Nation Radio. Who do I have the privilege of talking with tonight?
My name is Sheriff. I play guitars, and I'm accompanied by...
my name is Alex, and I play bass.
Awesome. Very good. And you guys are in the incredible band Unbeing.
Well, I mean, you're the one saying it, not me.
That's right. I have actually been saying it ever since I came across the band, which honestly has only been with the release of Raptus. However, nothing but impressed. Enjoying it very thoroughly.
Well, thank you.
That's flattering.
What's the story behind the name of the band? I don't think I really came across that in the website.
Well, it was sort of a long, drawn-out process of trying to find cool sounding names for a metal band which weren't already taken. Mm-hmm. So that went on for a while until we started going through various medias, and I am a very big fan of fantasy literature, and I found it in a series by Tad Williams, I believe. The name escapes me right now, but it was some sort of a elfic thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just sounded cool, and no one had it that we knew of. So,
but to be honest with you, if you look up "unbeing" in the dictionary, if you want to have a more realistic point of view as to what that word means, it's everything you do to not become. So, for example, if you hurt yourself or lose limbs, you are actively unbeing. As you're dying and withering and getting older, you are unbeing.
All right. And now how would you say that applies to the music that we get out of you guys?
Well, I guess, I mean, for us, it's very hard to pin down what we do because, I mean, how can you know yourself, really? We're just writing music, and we'll see where it takes us. Mm-hmm. So I guess we have a sense that, I guess, what we're doing is a process of somehow unbecoming what we were, and then becoming what will be, and then words and stuff.
Think of it as constant evolution. As you're unbeing, you will never be what you were once before, because you're constantly changing. You are getting older, you are withering, or you are losing parts of yourself. And I think the music really is like that, because we're going to start releasing stuff that we did back when we were in 2008, because I really wanted to share with people what we started as, which was something that was close to death metal and hardcore metal.
Right.
And as we get older, that's not necessarily that we don't like to do that. We love it. We just don't want to. We don't want to limit ourselves to do that. We want to integrate that into a bigger scope, something more cinematic. You know, when you go from emotion to emotion, and those parts come to complete the spectrum of emotions you're trying to emulate, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Awesome. You know what? That is really exciting, because I was just sort of talking with another friend recently. That is one of the elements that I totally enjoy and look forward to in a band, is that willingness to progress and to you know, almost not necessarily become something completely different, but not be afraid to try something that might have normally been outside of the scope. And I just went through your website recently and actually kind of noticed that transformation, really, like to hear that you weren't always an instrumental band, that you know, there was a vocalist there sometime. I'm really looking forward to being able to hear some of that stuff.
It's special, to be honest with you. but
it's embarrassing is what it is.
Not all of it is embarrassing.
Well, we all got to come from somewhere, though, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. But I'm excited to get feedback about that, because I know that a lot of diehard metal fans, a lot of technical death metal fans are, they used to love what that used to be in 2008, 2009, and 2011, more or less. A lot less in 2011, because we started exploring more acoustic stuff. Mm-hmm. And now we're halfway, you know, whatever, plus a bit of metal into it. But at that time, since it was all metal, a lot of technical enthusiasts were into it.
Excellent. So now, sort of in a general sense, if this is possible with just two of you there, give me a few of the band's inspirations in terms of other musicians or bands or anything. This is actually more of a personal question. I'm really curious, because I'm impressed with the musicianship. So
I'll be honest with you. It really varies on the mood, but if I can pin it down, I love soundtracks and stuff that is not made for you really to listen to alone, like movie soundtracks or video game soundtracks,
right,
are the things that inspire me the most, because there are emotions that are communicated there more than sometimes in a single song. But if I'm going to pin down some bands that did explore, that were very open-minded, I fear being cliched, but I have to say it, Pink Floyd is one of those bands that went all over the place. Radiohead was a band like that. Any band that started a new genre was a bit like that. Dream Theater, of course. Anything, of course, Liquid Tension Experiment, because that is instrumental.
Yes.
Opeth, I love Opeth. I'm a huge fan of Opeth. Yeah. Anything Steve Wilson does, from Porcupine Tree or Blackfield, that man can do no wrong. And
let's not forget Devin Townsend.
Yeah, Devin Townsend also super huge inspiration, because he gets that vibe of movement within a song rather than a structure. He'll do both, but he understands that sometimes a song, it can be a soundtrack.
He's also not pinned down to any style or any preconceived notion of what he should be doing.
Exactly.
Which is something I think we all admire in the band.
Awesome. Yeah. That definitely reflects in the music too, especially with the. I just recently got my hands on the first album from 2011. Noticing in transition from that to Raptus, there seems to be a little more exploration, a little more atmospheric, I guess, adventures.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think. One of the driving things we wanted to do since the beginning, and I think every young band or any young musician starting out in a band wants to do, is like, I'm going to take all the things that I really like from my bands, from my favorite songs. I'm just going to do the good parts, stick them together. And I guess we're still trying to do that. It's just that what we think is good is changing.
Yep.
And I think we're also learning to take a little bit more time and not rush through progressions as fast as lightning.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, a little hint of maturity there.
Definitely. Well, the whole growth and progression that we were just talking about.
Exactly.
Well, if you can, briefly, without you guess giving away your secrets, how do you guys go about the writing process? Do you like just jamming, a lot of jamming, individual guys coming in with a song?
Some jamming, a little bit of ritual sacrifice on my end, at least.
All right, yeah.
Please, I'm wanted in about 3 states. No.
Makes touring difficult.
We've been a lot. We spent a lot of time on our own composing, and then bringing it together. So it's more like, at this point, we're 4 composers who just exchange ideas and go through them, pick them apart, send them back. Revise,
That's an imaginative way of thinking about it, but the reality is he comes up with a song, something that is halfway complete, 3/4 complete, ships it to me, I butcher it, then I ship it back to him, then he butchers it, and then he gives it to the keyboardist, he butchers it, and then when we're done with this thing, we give it to the drummer, who then puts on a new layer of percussions, and then we adjust our rhythm accordingly to punch with the percussions.
And then we say that we hate it, and we start all over again.
Yep.
All right. That sounds enjoyable.
Exhausting, that's what it is.
Now, how's Raptus been doing? It came out, July 1st?
Yep.
How's it been? I see some great reviews.
Critical success, yes.
Yeah. Well, there have been some great reviews.
People who liked the first one, I think part of what we wanted to do was, at least, we want to keep, I don't want to say blowing people's minds, but at least destroying their expectations of a sort. So we're very happy to see that people who had expectations were not blown away.
Had their expectations destroyed.
Destroyed. There we go. I'm going to go with blowing up things, destroying. I'm on a theme here.
You can say Michael Bay, it'll help.
Yes, there we go. I wanted to Michael Bay people.
Okay, well, I'm not even sure how to take that one exactly, but I've enjoyed the album anyway, and getting a chance to look a little bit more into the history. I definitely enjoyed a lot more of the riffy aspect of the earlier one, but I do really enjoy the new direction, and I'm looking forward. I know this just came out, and I'm going to digest it for a little while, but I'm looking forward to see where you're going from here.
So do we, actually.
Yeah, so are we.
Well, that's actually kind of my next question. What is on the agenda for Unbeing?
Well, right now we're we're writing and recording what is going to be the next release.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about that too much because we have a ton of ideas, but we're in that process right now where we butcher each other ideas, so we don't even know what it's gonna look like.
Excellent.
But it's gonna be different, that's for sure.
Okay.
And that's probably due sometime at the end of 2015. In the meantime, we're likely to do shows in the first 6 months of 2015. That's all I can say right now because we're in a long distance relationship with our drummer.
Yes.
Aha. I unfortunately know how that feels.
We decided to focus on putting out stuff that'll be challenging and fun to play when we actually hit the road again.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's a great goal. Any plans on? I guess it's still not in the works yet, but you gonna come east? You gonna come over to Halifax to see me?
For sure. I mean, it's on the plans for sure on a long-term basis. That's what Alex is trying to say.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not that. You guys are not that far.
Not too far. Not too far.
How's the scene actually?
Honestly, the scene is pretty thick. There's a lot of bands in Atlantic Canada in itself. Halifax has a good portion of it. That's actually one of the points of my show is I do play a lot of the Atlantic Canadian metal.
Nice.
Cool.
There is some good shit out there for sure. We don't have a whole lot of the proggy your kind of stuff. There's a few bands that delve into that. Oceanic is one that comes to mind. So we could always get them to maybe open up for you or something.
Very cool.
But I'm not trying to plan anything on you. I'll wait for you guys and I'll wait as long as it takes.
Shouldn't take that long. I'm hoping not.
I've heard that one before, but she was a tall blonde.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So this early release stuff that you're working on, do you have any projection for when that's going to be ready to go? Or
very likely towards the end of 2014, probably in the last 2 months that I'm going to release it.
Yeah.
I just got to do a bit of changes because, to be honest with you, not that it sounds like shit, but
I'll say it.
It needs just a little professional touch to be something that we can put out there legitimately, because I don't want to put something that would taint the name badly. I'd rather not put anything at all. So
of course.
Even though it's earlier stuff, I still gotta make sure it's.
We can just release it under another name, some band that we hate.
The artist formerly known as Unbeing.
There we go.
No ties whatsoever.
Yeah, no ties.
That's right.
At all.
Awesome. Well, fellas, that's great. I don't want to keep you too long. I'm excited to see where things take you, and if they take you to Halifax, then you can count on me being in the front row.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you very much for your time, Dwayne.
I appreciate it.
www.unbeingmusic.com.
Exactly, unbeingmusic.com.
Yeah, just go there. Go.
Unbeingmusic.com.
Yes.
You got it. What are they going to find when they get there?
Everything. It's the hub.
Puppies, unicorns, cats, whatever the hell you want.
Yes.
A really entertainingly written bio.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. All factually correct, 100%.
That is very clever.